We're at the Southern Museum of Civil War History, or Civil War and Locomotive History. So they have a fairly small Civil War section. I'm going to go through that real quick. That's the exhibits here. It's much like the one in Atlanta. There's some revision, but I think in general we tell the story pretty accurately. Pardon me.
I thought I heard your bird as well. I lost you. I thought we was in the bathroom. I went to the bathroom.
I went to the bathroom too. That's where I was.
I got one up there in the food section.
Shows the revolvers and pistols. These appear to be period pieces, real period pieces. They're courtesy of different families and people who have either donated them flat out or given them on loan. But there's no history of any of the firearms here. So, and this tells as much of the Civil War tale as based on the railroads. And of course, it's appropriate to this area. So it's very, very exciting. The drums, importance of music, and drums in particular. Drums were important to marching because they kept the beat. You had to listen to the drum beat for the cadence. And that would be quick time or regular route march or something like that. This is a neat little display here. It shows a bent rail, and I don't see anywhere in here that says the rail is from this area, but it very well could be. Sherman, when he marched to the sea, his engineers devised a way to use the ties as a fire, and then, or to create a fire as firewood, and then put the rails over top of that, and then when they were heated, they were very pliable, and then bent them and left them there. They were called Sherman's neckties. They were unusable except for scrap after that. So by that method, they tore up untold numbers of miles. This is a neat little cavalry display.
If you excuse me, I've got to check on my men. Make sure they're not asleep.
It says push the button.
Saddles and sabers, etc. I like the way they've used the Troyani paintings too. This is one of the most, if not the most, well, probably the second most extraordinary thing in this museum. This is a battle flag from the 65th Georgia. Saw action all over the place, and that's the real deal. It stayed in the guys. The last color bearer, rather than surrender it, furled it, kept it, and took it home. For 145 years it stayed in that family. And then it was donated to this museum. Very exciting, very incredible. Okay, and then this is all post-Civil War stuff back in here. We'll just include this before we move into the next segment, just as a means of